All right, the last thing I want to talk to you about is a thing of the moment, and this is actually based on something that I talked about in a previous episode of the MacCast. I recently had the microphones in my AirPods Pro go bad. They're doing this thing where they just basically fade in and out. So I'm talking to people and I sound fine, and then I'll get really, really soft for a while, and then they'll kind of go back up to normal. So I don't know what's going on there. If anybody has experienced that and knows a fix for it, let me know about it. But I really wanted to get replacement uh, headphones, basically, and knowing that there's rumors that AirPods Pro is going to get a version 2 soon. I didn't want to pay $250 US for a new set of AirPods Pro, the existing model, when I know there's a new model probably right on the horizon. So I started looking at other options, and Beats has their Studio Buds, which basically have all of the features of the AirPods Pro, less a couple of items. But here's the key: they're $100 US less expensive. So I thought, hey, I'm going to try these out, and I have to tell you, I am pretty impressed. So they have spatial audio. They have active noise canceling. They have an 8-hour battery life with up to 24 hours using the battery case. They work with Ola Siri, so all of that stuff works. They come in additional colors. So you can get blue, gray, black, pink, red. I happen to get the black ones. They also have white. They have, like is being rumored for the updated AirPods Pro, no stems. They have USB-C charging, so they're not a lightning connector. They actually have USB-C, although there is no wireless charging case option, so you don't have that. And so I got these. They, to me, sound great. I would say just as good as my AirPods Pro. I can't really tell. Some people say the Beats tend to have more bass, and some people don't like that. I haven't really noticed that. But they sound great to me. One thing I worried about is they don't have that U1 chip, so they don't have that kind of seamless syncing pairing going between devices. But the setup was very similar. I just took them out of the packaging. I opened up the case, and boom, it popped up on my iPhone, said, "Do you want to pair these?" I said yes, and they were instantly paired with my iPhone. So that experience is the same. What's not the same is I can't just seamlessly transition between devices. So it doesn't recognize when I have them in and then I pick up my iPad and it switches right over to my iPad. So you don't have that magical experience, but really switching devices wasn't that big a deal. I just pick up my iPad, I go into Bluetooth, I select these, and boom, they're switched over to my my iPad or my Mac. It's a little bit more manual, so you do lose that functionality. But to me, that's not that big a deal. The mics sound good. At least people tell me they sound really, really good. And the noise cancellation, I think, is good as well. I'm not convinced it's as good as my AirPods Pro, but it's going to take a little more kind of listening to determine that. But definitely good. The spatial audio's there, all of that stuff. Now, the few little things that I think aren't as good as the AirPods Pro, in terms of the controls that are actually, the physical controls that are actually on the earbuds, they have that push style. Because they don't have stems, you actually have to push on the back of the earbud, and I don't like that because it kind of forces it into your ear. It's not as comfortable to me as using the little squeeze on the stems. But I don't manually control my music and those sorts of things very much, and with Ola Siri, I can just speak that, and that's fine. So I prefer the voice controls anyway, so that's not a huge deal killer. The fit is good on these, but they are harder to remove from my ear because they don't have the stems. You kind of have to pinch on the little part that sticks out, and they're kind of harder to pull out of my ears, to be honest. And so I don't like that as much. The charging case is a bit larger than the AirPods Pro one, which, again, not a huge deal killer, but if you care about the size of the case, that might be a thing for you. But overall, I have to say, if you're looking for a set of earbuds, wireless earbuds that are almost as good as the AirPods Pro at $100 less. These are $150 US. I think these are an incredible option, and they're probably more bang for your buck than going with just the cheaper AirPods, the non-Pro AirPods. I think these are better than that, in my opinion. They certainly have better features. Again, so I would take a look at the Beats if you're in the market for some wireless earbuds from Apple, basically, that are not as expensive as the AirPods Pro. I'm actually very impressed with these, and I like them so far. So I think until I can get the next generation of AirPods Pro, these are going to get me through just fine, and I didn't have to spend quite as much money.